A lot of people don't like to stand in the elevator. Who doesn't feel uncomfortable when somebody else enters? Almost 20% of all the people doesn't know what to do because there is not enough space between them and the other passenger. And the other 20% is really thin or brought up in a really crowded house. But I found a way. Making an elevator ride became the best 3 minutes of my day. Who has any idea what that could be? No one? I will tell you a story about the changes I felt after I started my project, talking to the other passengers and taking pictures of them, my neighbors. In 2014, I got a new apartment in Breda on the 9th floor. The first week I moved in, an African man got into the elevator, and I was already riding. He asked to me, "Are you going for a run?" Because I was wearing my running outfit. And I said, "Yes, I want to get to know the area." And he invited me to go for a run together sometimes. He told me that he was a professional athlete in his country, Gambia. But we didn't make an actual appointment because I thought I would bump into him again. But until this day, I never saw him again. And he kept in my mind for weeks. Where did he go? Did he move out of Breda, the country, or even went back to Africa? And I still don't know. The flatbuilding houses 250 apartments, giving homes to people with more than 30 nationalities. They come from Armenia, Iran, and Egypt. But also a lot of Turkish and Moroccan people are living here. And at some point, this area got a certain image, not in a good way. The city buses didn't even drive here a couple of years ago. So people felt it was not safe. But I want to do something about that image because I really like living here. At this picture, you can see I ended up at a baby room shower with the best drum band of Holland. It's so colorful with all the different traditions. So I got curious to my other neighbors, inspired by the African man. And I started to have discussions with them in the elevator. And I asked random questions like, where did you grow up? How did you end up here? Or do you know your neighbor? And that revealed some really interesting stories. Karel was the first neighbor I photographed. He has a lot of hobbies. When I took this picture, he was painting. And he told me that he adds mistakes on purpose to test if people are really looking. In this picture, the trailer has only 2 wheels. And I also met Bas. He told me that he pulls out the mattress out of the bed and pulls it on the ground. He got used by that because when he was at boarding school, when he was younger, he had to sleep with all the kids together in one room. So everywhere he lives, he pulls out the mattress and puts it on the ground. Otherwise, it doesn't feel home to him. Amara. Amara is a refugee from Sierra Leone. When he came to Holland 17 years ago, he still remembers how he felt, alone, cold and confused. So during that time, he made this absolutely amazing painting on his wall, his memory of home. And then Amara got a new neighbor, Layal from Syria. And Amara asked Layal if I could photograph her. And they started to talk to each other and understood each other's feelings, missing their home country. And Layal skived a lot with her family to cope with her homesickness. Amara told me that he wanted a smaller couch. So when I bought a new couch, I asked him if he wanted my old one. And when I was at Layal's apartment to take her picture, my couch was there, being passed on and given her a safe place. I started to publish the pictures in the local newspaper every month, so more people got to know about my project and starting to help each other out, like Amara and Layal did. When I was at Rini's apartment, he told me that he wanted help making his will. So I asked one of my neighbors to help Rini, and he did. And the quote on his picture: "I'm slowly saying goodbye to all my stuff. There's nothing really I couldn't depart from. I used to be a bartender, and I heard so many life stories then. Home is not a physical place for me. It's where the memories lie. I also started to present the pictures in the hall in front of the elevator, so people could watch them while they were waiting. And I didn't always knew that I was the photographer, so I could listen to their stories secretly." And a quote was written below every picture, saying what home means to them. Over the last 2 years, I photographed my neighbors, documenting their ideas of home. But can I say I can do true research when at the end of the day I'm going to my own home, closing the front door and locking myself out from the outside world? So I decided to start traveling next year and give up my own house. I will be starting a platform called Can I Come Over? In return for a place to sleep, I want to listen to your life story and publish about your dream. Dreams, like feeling the adrenaline generated by the biggest roller coaster in the world, being part of a circus, or presenting the weather on television. For example, I met Michelle and her boyfriend in the Ardennes. They live in a teepee tent. And their dream is to live completely by ecologically, making their own food and cleaning their own shit. Together with my online followers, we pick out one dream every 2 weeks. And by sponsors and volunteers, we're going to make these dreams come true. Regardless gender, schooling, or religion, we all have dreams. But our society is getting harder and colder. And we do everything to achieve our own goals without taking into account the needs and dreams of anyone else. But what do we have in common? Even when you're from a totally different religion conviction, or you're born in a different country. One dream I already fulfilled is the one of my dad. He always wanted to drive the Amsterdam-Dakar Rally, so we did. We drove for weeks in the west coast of Africa. And trust me, if you were there, you want to cover your face as well, because there is a lot of dust in the Sahara. And I also was with Anne in Italy last summer. She's 65 years old. And her dream was to drive a scooter before her age would make her too scared. And this is the result. And during our ride, she screamed at me and said, "Hopefully I won't hit an old granny." And by this way, I want to inspire people, like the way Amara, Bas, an African man who I never saw again, inspired me. Thank you.